The story began quietly, in the silent halls of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Scientists tracked hundreds of objects in space every day, but then a new pattern emerged. Meteorites fell into Earth's atmosphere more often. The data was clear, but the reason was a mystery. International observatories confirmed the trend. In Russia, Japan, Chile, and Australia, astronomers logged more fireballs than ever before. Emails and urgent calls connected scientists in different time zones. Their voices held concern, but also excitement. Something new was happening in the heavens. As the days passed, the rate increased. It was no longer a trickle. Small streaks lit up the upper atmosphere every hour. NASA held emergency meetings. The world's leading experts gathered to analyze the numbers. It was not just a statistical fluke. Earth was under a new kind of cosmic bombardment. The first press conference was brief and precise. "We are observing a significant increase in meteor activity," said the NASA spokesperson. "We are investigating the cause." The world listened, unsure whether to feel wonder or fear. At first, people thought it was beautiful. The night skies filled with streaks of light. Children pointed at the glowing trails. Social media exploded with photos and videos from every continent. Hashtags like Skyfire and Meteor Rain trended worldwide, but after a week the awe turned to worry. Some meteorites reached the ground. In Brazil, a small rock smashed a parked car. In France, a town heard a loud boom as a stone slammed into a farmer's field. Each incident was minor, but the pattern was undeniable. News anchors began to ask experts tough questions. Why was this happening? Was it dangerous? The answers were cautious. "We are monitoring the situation," experts said. "Stay alert." But the public could tell. This was not normal. Every night, more people stayed awake to watch. The sky was alive with light and sound. Dogs barked at the flashes. Old fears, buried deep, rose up. People around the world started to sense that something big was coming. As meteorites kept falling, something remarkable happened. World leaders began to talk. Wars paused. Soldiers put down their guns. Everyone was distracted by the threat from above. The United Nations called an emergency meeting. For the first time in history, generals and presidents spoke with a single purpose. The enemy was not another country. The enemy was from space. Even the most bitter rivals agreed to cooperate. The message was simple: we must survive together. People noticed the change. News showed soldiers from different nations shaking hands. Borders became less important. Scientists from every nation shared data and ideas. The world was united by a shared danger and a shared hope. The sky kept burning, but hope grew stronger. People built shelters, shared food, and looked after each other. Old arguments did not matter anymore. Humanity remembered what it meant to be one family living on one fragile planet. Then, the asteroids came. Not just small rocks, but mountains from space. The first one hit the Pacific Ocean. The explosion was bigger than any nuclear bomb. Waves crossed entire oceans. Satellites captured the fireball from space. More asteroids followed. One struck the Sahara, throwing sand into the sky. Another exploded over China, flattening a city in seconds. Each impact sent shockwaves around the globe. The world trembled under the rain of destruction. People watched in horror as landmarks vanished. Forests burned. Cities disappeared. Dust and fire filled the air. The world grew darker with each passing day. Panic and fear spread, but so did determination. Humanity faced the greatest test in its history. Every eye turned to the sky, searching for hope, and for the next falling giant. The world's scientists and engineers united. They built powerful rockets and lasers. Factories ran day and night, making weapons to destroy the rocks before they hit. Leaders called the project Sky Shield. It was humanity's last stand. Teams launched hundreds of missions. Rockets soared into space, targeting the incoming asteroids. Sometimes they succeeded. A direct hit would turn a giant rock into dust. Sometimes they failed, and disaster struck below. Every victory was celebrated. Every failure mourned. People everywhere felt proud. They donated money, time, and ideas. Some volunteered for dangerous missions. Artists wrote songs of hope. Students studied science, dreaming of a safer future. The struggle united every nation, every heart. Finally, the last asteroid was destroyed. The world cheered as the sky grew quiet. For the first time in months, stars shone clearly. Humanity had survived the cosmic storm. People hugged, cried, and dreamed again. Peace returned. The news was full of stories about rebuilding. Survivors cleared rubble and planted new trees. Scientists searched for answers. Why had so many asteroids come? Was it finally over? People wanted to believe the worst was past. Life slowly returned to normal. Kids played in the streets again. Shops reopened. The world's leaders promised to never forget what had happened. International cooperation became the new normal. It seemed like a new, better era was beginning. But not everyone felt safe. Some scientists noticed strange data from the moon. Its orbit was changing ever so slightly. They checked again and again. The numbers did not lie. The moon was moving closer to Earth. At first, nobody wanted to believe it, but the evidence built up. Soon, the news broke. The moon was on a collision course with Earth. The final countdown had begun, and this time, there was no way to stop it. Panic swept the globe. The moon grew larger each night. Tides rose higher. Earthquakes shook cities as gravity warped the planet. People filled the streets, watching the silver giant loom in the sky. There was nowhere to hide. Governments made desperate plans. But no weapon could stop the moon. The world's religions held prayers. Friends and enemies held hands. Every radio and screen counted down to the final impact. All eyes were on the sky, tears mixed with awe. When the moon struck, the explosion was beyond imagination. It was equal to 100 million nuclear bombs exploding at once. Mountains melted, oceans boiled, the very air caught fire. The blast sent fragments of Earth flying into space. Everything was gone in seconds. The planet was broken, shattered beyond hope. No tree, no city, no life remained. Where once there was blue and green, there was only darkness and silence, drifting in the endless night of space.